Hey everyone, today we're going to be talking about a really critical idea, which is called hashtag next steps. Now, nothing new under the sun, and I think that we're getting a lot better at this, but this hashtag next steps, we don't want to just do that at the end of the conversation or at the end of the meeting. We want to start with hashtag next steps and then end with the same. So by sandwiching that in, we'll have much better control of the whole entire sales process. Now, if you think about it this way, what we want to do is be that Sherpa, right? Be that guide in the whole entire sales process. We're going to shepherd them along. That way, if they know where they're going, they're going to have a lot better likelihood of taking those next steps. So, what does that look like in each and every way or each and every step? So, if we look at it this way, hashtag, right? We all use it. Hashtag next steps. Let's break it down like this. We want to thank them for their time. So let's write this down. We want to thank them for their time. So that's going to be the first one. So that's going to be T. Thanks for the time. And then, by the way, we want to discuss that time. So time. Then we want to lay out their agenda. What's on your agenda? Agenda, if I could spell it here. What's on your agenda? And then what's our agenda? Now, you can swap the agendas. It's okay if you want to do yours first or yours second. No worries there. But make sure that we cover an agenda. Now, this is an important piece. We want to offer up that it's okay to say no. And that's going to build trust. That's going to build comfort. That's going to build credibility going through this and allow us to have that peer-to-peer level. So really what this hashtag next steps is doing is allowing us to create an environment of trust, comfort, and credibility at a peer-to-peer level. So we want to say, hey, we want to give them the opportunity to say no, and then we're also going to have the opportunity to say no if we can't help them. Now, this is the important step. We want to say what yes means, and yes is going to be a home run, or yes is going to be a minimal viable next step, right? If I'm going to take this out of the pipeline, if we're not at least willing to do that. And then I'm going to lay out, here's my biggest fear, and I'm going to do that through a third party story. So here's what it would sound like. So this is going to be a first time ever discovery conversation. It would be something along these lines. So, hey, thanks so much, Susie, for showing up here today. I know originally we had about a half hour set aside. Are we still good for that? Perfect. Now, from your perspective, whenever you're planning for today, to make sure that this is a good use of your time, what do you want to make sure that we cover? Blah, 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 blah. Okay, it makes perfect sense. Let's definitely do that. Now, on my side, here's our agenda that I'd like to do is find out from you, get you to paint me a picture of what is today that you're doing, what's working. Ideally, what would you like to see work better? And we can share with you at least at a high level some different ways that we've helped others in the past who've had similar situations or scenarios that you've brought up to me. And then based upon that, one of a couple of things is going to happen. One is, we find out that this isn't an alignment here, that if you're not getting a sense that this is what you're hoping for, you're just not hearing what you're hoping to hear or seeing what you're hoping to see. Let's be transparent with one another, and it's okay to tell me, no, this isn't the path that I want to take. I'll cry whenever we get off the phone, but no worries. I think it's important that we talk through that. Now, on the other side, same thing. I'm going to be extremely transparent on my end. If I don't think that I can help you, I'm going to just let you know that. And I've been in the business long enough that hopefully I can make a good recommendation or give you a sense of where to go. So are you going to be okay if I'm that transparent with you? Yeah, I'd love that. Okay, great. Now, on the flip side, if we find out there is alignment, one of a couple of things is going to happen. One is, and you would describe what your home run is. So if your home run is, I can start business today, we do that. If your home run is, we can take some small pilot or test or assessment, then we set that up. If your best yes, if your home run is you, I don't know, setting up a next meeting, then we talk about that. So depending on how complex it is, describe what your ideal, the best thing, if all the stars align, what that yes is. And on the other side, a minimal viable yes. And that might be, hey, we come back together one final time, go a little bit more deeply in this conversation before we make that final determination. Should we bring others into the conversation? So, and then I go to my biggest fear. And my biggest fear is this. And have you ever had this where you had a great meeting, you were thinking, oh my gosh, this is the greatest meeting ever. We're solving problems. Things are getting done. just to have 6 months, 9 months later, you're sitting there scratching your head going, I thought we fixed that in that one really good meeting just for nothing to happen. You ever had that happen? Oh, sure, all the time. Yeah, me too. Hate that. Waste of time. Let's make sure that we don't do that. So at the end of this, if we're at least in alignment at a high level, let's put some action items and homework down, action steps for one another. Can you help me remember to do that so I don't waste your time? Sure, absolutely can do that. Great. Really appreciate that. So that's hashtag next steps on a pre-call meeting or a first-time discovery meeting. You can do that on a telephone call, setting up what the agenda is going to be on this first meeting. It's going to be, hey, thanks. Let's set this up. Take about 30 minutes. What do you want to make sure we cover? Okay, we'll cover what I just mentioned here. It's okay to say no. Here's what yes would likely look like. Does that seem like a good use of your time? All right, let's set that up. That's setting up for this discovery call. At the end of the discovery call, hey, appreciate your time today. Let's do this. Next meeting, why don't we lay out an agenda? And again, same thing on that agenda. If we find that that's the ending point, no worries. After that, we'll at the end of that meeting, we'll figure out some next steps. That next step is either going to bring some other people involved, or maybe taking that first step of a pilot or blah blah blah, whatever that is. So it's setting this up every single time. So that is hashtag next steps. Get after it, everybody. Have a great time. Help people out. They don't know how to buy what you do. So be that Sherpa, be that guide, guide them along the way. Thanks. Get after it.